You know, everybody's born into a family, into a culture that has a certain belief system to it, whether it's uh, Christianity, whether it's some other religion, or whether it's atheism. Whatever family you're born into has a belief system. And that belief system, as a child growing up, I think everybody generally accepts whatever their parents or the authorities in their life, the teachers, express as being, let's call it the truth. Um, so obviously I'm no different than anybody else. That's a situation I was born into. So as I matured or grew from a small child, um, there were different points in my life that pointed to question marks to those original beliefs that were kind of instilled in me. Why do I believe what I believe? And then should I challenge what I believe? And of course, I think everybody approaches those things cautiously because these are very personal thoughts, thoughts that you don't want to reveal to your parents or siblings or classmates or things like that. They're just kind of there. Having thought through other religions, other possibilities, what is the essence of Christianity? And to me, it comes down to um, is Jesus Christ really the Son of God? And did he really die and raise from the dead? If he rose from the dead and he is the Son of God, that is an absolute that we shouldn't challenge if we claim to be a Christian. So that becomes a big question to me. And I would conclude that to accept the divinity of Christ and the resurrection, we can only do that. I can only do that based on faith. So if I express that belief, I'm doing it as a faith statement, not as a scientific or a factual statement. I'm doing it as a faith statement. That didn't end the searching. That was a commitment that God existed. So I answered to my own satisfaction, does God exist or not exist? So that is what happened at that point in my life. From then on, it was trying to answer the big questions of, is there a faith that is the right faith? And if it's Christianity, is there a particular branch that is more correct than not? And so that became a whole new journey of saying, okay, how do I interpret Scripture? How do I read the Bible? All of those issues started to then become very real, big questions. The word truth to me is one that it has a particular meaning in our context. We seek truth. We're never sure. I don't think we can ever be sure we have truth, at least not complete truth. We can accept something as being true in science, for example, but that's subject to change as other things are discovered. So what we believe early on scientifically may change. So that's one area of truth. An area of spiritual truth, I think that's an elusive comment or a concept that we seek truth, but we know because God is God and exists beyond the realm of nature that we will never have all of God's truth. The concept of wisdom is one that goes beyond knowledge, and I think embedded in it, for me at least, it's the humility that says, I have this knowledge that I accept today, but I am humble enough about this knowledge to say that it may change as more things are discovered. Without the humility to change, we become dogmatic, we become so rigid that that pride or that pridefulness is eventually going to bite us, get us, and break us, because we'll have to admit we did not have the right answer. So I think approaching knowledge and the idea of truth from that knowledge has to be flexible enough with humility to say, I could be wrong. I hold this to be true, but I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'm willing to accept the accumulation of additional knowledge that may change my acceptance of that particular belief. My hope for the foundation, as we call it, but any resources that I have that can be put to use in a charitable way would be directed towards looking at the big questions that I think everybody has to some degree or another, and making it easier for young people, adults, whomever, to be able to ask the questions and get a thoughtful response from whoever the authority figure is, the parent, the teacher, the coach, the priest, the minister, or whatever, so that there would be a thoughtful response to the question, and that the question is taken seriously when asked. We don't have the answers, but we understand your question. We respect you as a person and are willing to engage in discussing your questions.